Hey everyone, it's Maria here. Great to be here with you today in our today's live Q&A session. As you can see, I'm on the road again. No rest for the wicked. So let's get into it. First question today. I have two bosses who are inconsistent in their communications with each other and with those of us who work for them. They talk about people behind their backs. They say one thing to one of my peers and another thing to me. I've put so much effort into my personal development, yet as soon as they start behaving erratically, I get nervous and find it hard to concentrate. How can I overcome the doubts I have in their leadership? I'm an INFP. So thank you for this question. I think it's a very important question, and I'm glad that you're asking this because our work, is our livelihood. So if, our jobs are very, very important to us. No matter what that job is, it signifies more than just a job. It's not just, oh, you'll be fine, don't worry about it. That's not going to cut it because, your livelihood is dependent on currently in this job. So if you are able to change jobs where you might have better bosses or better leadership or better working environment, then that's fine. But not all of us have that opportunity. So this is a great question. And I think it's going to help a lot of people. So the first thing I want to say is if you have more than two bosses, it's very important that you have that it's very clear what the chain of command is. So if one of them is above the other, then you actually probably just report to the middle person, the person right above you. Now, if these two bosses are equal in this job environment, and you're reporting to both of those, then what I would do in this situation is I would actually put everything, every instruction, everything that I've received from either one of these bosses into an email and put both of the people, both of the bosses into the email so that you can say, I just want to check that, I got this right, these instructions right, this is what I understood. And please let me know if there's anything else. If I don't hear from you, I'll just carry out these instructions. And that way you are, as a subordinate person, you're no longer responsible for any miscommunications from your end. So it's almost like you own, from your own perspective, everything you can own, but you also give your bosses ownership for their part in this. When you're in these situations where you don't have power over things, it's like you don't have power over these things, but it's almost like you're still held responsible for it. That is always, no matter how much work you've done yourself, that is always going to be a toxic environment. So you can't be responsible for something you have no control over. That's a very unreasonable request for any person in any circumstance. So it sounds to me like that's what they're asking you to do. They're asking you to take responsibility for something you don't have control over, and that's not okay. And that's why I would say put everything in writing and just say, hey, just so that I understood that, just so that I got it right, that I understood exactly what you're saying. This is what I'm going to go with. And here's my action steps, what I'm going to be doing. And let me know if you need me to do something different, but here's what I understood. And when you have it in writing, and when you start to do that in writing, people will start to be a lot more careful what they say to you, because now they know there's going to be a paper trail about it. And in order for every person to really protect themselves in situations, because these situations can turn out really badly if you don't keep a paper trail, to protect yourself, make sure that you have communication in written format. It generally tends to keep people more accountable for what they're bringing onto the table. So I'm sorry that you're having this challenge. It's a really difficult situation to be. Nobody should be responsible for something they have no control over. But put everything in writing, and you don't even have to say, I'm putting this in writing because you're inconsistent. You can just say, well, you know what? I just want to make sure that I got it right. And here's what I understood. And here's the action I'm going to take. Let me know if you need me to change anything. So I hope that answers that question.